And my title today for my talk is Natural Abundance, because did you know that abundance is your natural state?
Yes.
Abundance and prosperity are part of the natural world, right? It's all around us. Abundance is easy to see when you look at the stars at night, when you look at the grains of sand, when you go to the river and see all the rocks. You can't even count them. Or the leaves on the tree that are falling. Come over to our house, you'll see a lot of leaves on the ground. The oak leaves, oh my gosh, there's millions of them. And yet many of us don't feel abundant and prosperous. Not only in the area of finances, but maybe in our health or our relationships. Why? Why? Because many of us have hidden beliefs and patterns that keep us in what's called lack consciousness. Not enough. Not enough. Eric Butterworth was a great unity minister. And remember gold nuggets, by the way. He said the word prosperity comes from the Latin root, which translates as to go forward hopefully and doing well. That's it. Thus, it's not so much as a condition in life as it is an attitude toward life. Considered in its broadest sense, prosperity is spiritual well-being. Oh, and I might add, think about it, when we have spiritual well-being, aren't we flourishing and thriving in all areas? So you might not know this, but the universe is governed by physical and spiritual laws. And one such law is the law of circulation. Circulation is a basic necessity of life. Without it, stagnation happens. And life can't be sustained. Take a breath in. Hold it. Don't exhale. Don't exhale. Don't exhale. Yes, let's exhale. Because you can't live if you only inhale. Your breath has to circulate. You can't live if your blood doesn't circulate throughout your body. It's the same with abundance. It obeys the law of circulation. It obeys it. And if you have only a monetary concept of abundance and affluence, then regardless of how much money you accumulate, it just won't be enough. However, when our relationship to money and our good includes sharing and circulating, then the law of reciprocity is activated in such a way that goods, money, health freely circulate back to us. Because the universe is abundant and we're made of the same substance, we too are predisposed to abundance. And I know for some of you that's like way out there, and that's okay. It is way out there. So the law of abundance is activated when we gratefully realize all our needs are already met at every level of existence. All my needs are met.
All my needs are met.
Even if there's a part of you that's saying, yeah, right. Say it again. All my needs are met.
All my needs are met.
Breathe that in. What if it was true?
It's true.
What if? It is true. And one of Reverend Maggie's, everything always works out for me.
And everything always works out for me.
I didn't hear you.
Everything always works out for me.
You're smiling, good. In other words, we're not here to merely mope and cope through life. Mope and cope. Yes. We are here to align our personal laws of life with the cosmic laws governing the universe, and thereby flourishing.
Yes.
Remember all the talks I did last month about power? Go back and listen to them when you forget. Inner power, we all have that power connected to a greater power than we are that knows how to guide us through life to be abundant, to be prosperous, to be healthy, to be whatever it is. It is said that if you believe that the source of abundance is only in the material realm, then you're poor in spirit. If you know that you are one with the cause of existence, then you are rich in spirit. And as you attune with the first cause, or God, or Creator, whatever you want to call it, your needs are met. It's the law. I thought the law and the law won. All my needs are met.
All my needs are met.
Everything always works out for me.
Everything always works out for me.
Take a breath. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine, what would it feel like if all your needs were met right now, whatever that is? What are you doing? Who are you with? How does it feel? Visualize it in your mind. Just see it in your mind. Make it up. Imagine it. Whether it's your health, your wealth, whatever it is. Your relationship. Visualize it. Be there. All my needs are met. How cool is that? And notice the vibration of that idea. Don't argue with it. Just imagine it. Yeah. Wow. Isn't that cool? You don't have to know how to make it happen, but you gotta make it. Welcome. Yeah. Just imagine. All your needs are met. There's no side effects to thinking like that. So you can open your eyes and smile. Wants and desires generate our aspirations, intentions, and motivations. Whether it's a new car or enlightenment, it's still a want. And every want vibrates at a different energy level. So we have to pay attention to our wants, because there's what's called mature wanting and immature wanting. And I know none of you are immature. But we want to have discernment here. Don't raise your hands. So immature wanting originates in the surface critical mind. I want this, I want that, I want. It's a wanting mindset. And its mantra says, he who dies with the most toys wins. We've heard that before. Or something like that. And interesting, immature wanting operates from a poverty mentality of I don't have enough. There's not enough to go around. Which is not true in a universe that's abundant. We all know people who look rich and are miserable. They have all the toys, but they're not happy. So a mindset of lack becomes an individual's personal law. And if you're wanting only from the outside instead of more from the inside, it's not going to serve you very well. So the mature level of wanting says, I want to know more of who and what I really am. I want to express my true nature of joy, love, creativity, generosity, compassion. And the same good I desire for myself, I desire for everyone. And as you embrace this personal law of life, the more mature wanting, you then align with the true nature of the universe. You tap into that rich reservoir of your innate wisdom. And then from this generative consciousness, your needs are met. How many times do I have to say it? I know sometimes we have to just keep knocking it in, don't we? The Hindu Upanishads says, he who realizes the sphere of space hidden in the cavern of your heart grasps all that may be desired and comes into contact with the immensity, with a capital I. the immensity. I love that image for that greater than we can even describe. Think about that. To have a conscious realization of that immensity is the desire that satisfies all desires. I want to know that more. That's all I want. Because that, my friends, is our true wealth. A conscious realization of our connection to the immensity, to the Creator, to the God, to the divine, whatever it is. Take a breath. So there's some practices that we can do. You know, we're all about practices here. To power up your abundance mindset. And the first one is that F word again. Darn. I've been talking about that F word for a couple weeks. What is it? Forgiveness. And forgiveness is an ongoing daily practice. It's not a one-time thing. I think I've said that many times. Because letting go of resentments and forgiving opens up us to the flow of the universe. Remember last week, Reverend Pixie, about the rose and the thorns, that the thorns hold us back from experiencing the beauty of the rose. Because holding on to resentments is like walking around with your fists clenched trying to pick up $1 million. Or trying to be giving to someone. Right? That's resentment. You gotta let it go. Through forgiveness practices, and call a practitioner. I work with some of you all the time on this forgiveness issue. I do it with my practitioner. It's an ongoing process, but we have to keep peeling those layers of the onion to get to that place where the spirit isn't held out. We're not armoring ourselves. Another practice that will power up your abundance mindset is gratitude. Good old gratitude. Can't lose with it. No side effects. As we know, how gratitude is a powerful practice that does change your outlook on life. Being grateful for what is brings you into the present moment and takes your focus away from complaining, resentment, and fear. Repeat after me. I am grateful for all the good in my life.
I am grateful for all the good in my life.
For the everywhere present activity of God.
For the everywhere present activity of God.
And I allow this vibration of love, joy, peace, and abundance to flow through me now. Woo! Woo! That's something I say every day. I say it more than once a day. Sometimes when I'm hiking, I am so happy and grateful for all the good in my life, the everywhere abundant activity of God, and I blah, 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 blah. I just say it all the time. Reverend Ike says, you can't lose with the stuff I use. So I don't know about you, but I never get out of bed in the morning without starting the conscious process of right thinking. This is important. Before I even put my feet on the floor, I start my process of right thinking and being grateful for the upcoming day. How will I serve today? What creative genius will I be today? Thank you, God and me, for all the good in my life. I am so looking forward to this day. It's going to be really busy, but I'll figure it out. Thank you. You shouldn't leave your room until you're right. Because, you see, your subconscious mind says, behold, I send a messenger before me who will prepare the way. So what are you expecting when you get up? The blank to hit the fan? Or something curious, wonderful to happen? Who knows? What wonderful thing will happen today? Because you're pre-paving. And you shouldn't go to sleep at night unless you're right with yourself as well. If you go to sleep in an angry mood while you're asleep, Your subconscious mind will connect you to people the next day that's going to match your angry mood. Oh. So I'm happy today to give each of you a gift when you leave after we have our lunch. And it's on the back table, so you'll take one home. And it's a gratitude transformation 40-day journey. We're going to all do this together. And if you don't want to do it, don't pick one out. That's fine. It's your choice. But tonight, day 1, we're going to start. You have 40 days where you're going to fill in. I'll just read a little bit about what it is. It's really powerful to pay attention to your blessings and count your blessings. The number 40 has deep spiritual significance. It symbolizes all the time it takes for a transformation to occur and appears regularly in scriptural stories of transformation. The journal is to help you experience the transformative power of 40 through 40 days of gratitude and thanksgiving. On each of the next 40 days, find at least 10 reasons for which to be grateful. Your life truly is filled with blessings that often go unnoticed. So what you'll do is day 1, I would put the date tonight, is November 10th. And it goes, if you start tonight, it's going to go to December 19th. That's 40 days. And it has little affirmations for each day. And if you forget one day, shame on you. Just start over. I am not the gratitude police. So on the back it has an affirmation that I do encourage you to say every day, so say after me. I am grateful every day.
I am grateful every day.
I am blessed to be alive.
I am blessed to be alive.
I am grateful for my precious human life.
I am grateful for my precious human life.
I breathe in love.
I breathe in love.
I exhale gratitude.
I exhale gratitude.
So it is.
So it is.
So you're going to do this at night and clear your consciousness. Okay, and you're going to pick one up on your way out. And so another practice to power up your abundance mindset is sacred giving, or tithing. Woo! Tithing. I know that's such a scary word for everybody. No. Tithing and sacred giving are ancient practices, and there are many fears surrounding it. Tithing is not a tit for tat or a practice of giving money to get salvation or something material in return. Rather, tithing is a process that demonstrates your faith in the law of circulation. Hear that. A process that demonstrates faith in the law of circulation. So as I said earlier, life is movement and circulation. You can't inhale without exhaling. Your blood flows through your body. Tithing is about giving from the overflow, which is hard to do if you're afraid or suspicious. They just want my money. I remember that. I remember that growing up. Oh, they just want me. Pass that basket. They just want my money. Yeah, they do. We tithe to where we are spiritually fed, is basically what it means too. I sometimes tithe to musicians that I'm inspired by. I tithe to my practitioner. I tithe here, because I'm spiritually fed, even though I'm feeding you. I'm also feeding me. So tithing is typically 10%, which is where it comes from, and most people only think about that instead of looking at the 90% you're keeping. Woo! So if you give $100, your tithe would be 10. Right? So it's planting a seed for increase. And it actually originated in the Old Testament where it was based on agricultural harvests. The Israelites set a portion of their resources to support the poor and vulnerable, demonstrating their commitment to compassion and justice. So, in case you don't know, your board of trustees, we just had a meeting this week, tithes 10% from your tithes every Sunday. And that 10% is divided and we have a new division. We give 5% to the Centers for Spiritual Living Home Office. We give 3% to a local nonprofit that changes every 2 months. And if you have one you'd like us to support, let us know. And now, thanks to Joy's idea, we're going to have 2% put in an internal fund for any of you who come into hard times and could use a little extra support. And it's going to be a cumulative fund. And you can talk to the board when something unexpected comes up. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
So what you give every Sunday is circulated in many different ways, besides paying the bills. I mean, how good is that? Let's affirm, I am giving way to the divine flow.
I am giving way to divine flow.
So Eric Butterworth, I'm going to close with this. He said there are 2 general types of people in life, the givers and the takers. A word of caution, don't judge this, don't agree with this judgmentally, thinking, oh yeah, I know how many people, a lot of people who are takers. We're not dealing with them, we're dealing with you. So just see this as a test for yourself, without being judgmental. The takers, he says, are the people who live their lives, who believe their lives will always be a total of what they can get from the world. They're always thinking, get, what can I get? They plan and scheme ways to get what they want in money, in love, in happiness, in all kinds of good. But whatever may be their spiritual ideas of lack or any, no matter what they take, they'll never really know true fulfillment and peace. The givers, on the other hand, see that life is a giving process. Thus, their subtle motivation is always to give themselves in love, in service, and in the many helpful ways they can invest themselves. The givers are always secure, for they intuitively know that their good comes from within. So life for the whole person is a giving process. And I'm not specifically talking about church giving or charity and so forth. There's many channels through which your giving can be funneled. It's an attitude toward life, isn't it? It's a knowing that life is not something to get, but it's something to express in, through, it as you. So I don't want you to tithe or give sacred giving to get something. Tithe to realize the truth of the divine law of circulation more and more, because it will teach you. It's a law. Imagine the feeling of being a channel for the flow of good in this community. Just imagine it. Not just with your money, but with your consciousness, with your heart, with your time and treasure. I am always so grateful for those of you that stay a little bit and take all this stuff down and put it away, and oh my gosh, that's giving. That's this law of circulation too. And as we know, as you give, so shall you receive. It's a law. So I invite you to think of what you're giving from and feel humble in realizing that you're simply giving way to the divine flow. So I'm going to close with a prayer by Ernest Holmes, a spiritual wise one. So I invite you to take a nice breath. This was from 365 Days of Richer Living. I'll read it in the first person, and I do this often in my Wednesday Wisdom window on Facebook. If you all don't attend it, you should. It's always a good reminder about the truth. I drop all sense of lack or limitation from my thought and every belief which I ever had in lack or fear. I now have a belief in success and faith. I permit the spirit within me to express itself in perfect freedom, bringing increasing joy into my experience. There is that within me which is completely conscious of its unity with good, and of its oneness with all the power there is, all the presence there is, and all the life there is. His power, presence, and life, I depend with implicit certainty, with complete confidence, and with absolute assurance. There is a divine circulation flowing through me now. The vitality and energy of life flows through every act. I allow this divine wholeness to flow through me into ever-widening fields of activity. Every good which I have ever experienced is now increased tenfold. Every joy which I have ever experienced is now multiplied. There is a new influx of inspiration into my thoughts. All power is delivered unto me, and this power I use for my own and every other person's good. This divine presence interprets itself to me in love and friendship, peace, joy, and goodness. Abundance, prosperity are mine now.